Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at Figma's The Amazing Spider-Man figure. Let's get into it. How'd you guys like that intro? Super fast, yeah? Alright guys, believe it or not, this is really one of my favorite Spider-Man figures in the collection. Now, I know a lot of people sleep on this figure because of the elephant in the room, the big old elephant in the room, these good old disc joints. But I gotta tell you, I think this is a really, really good figure. I think the articulation on it is very, very nice. The paintwork is second to none. I think this is probably one of the best painted Spider-Man figures that I've ever seen. The only other Spider-Man figure that I really, really like the painting on is the SH Figuarts Far From Home Spider-Man. That's really the only other one I could think of in my collection anyway. Really the only downside in the paintwork is some of the blue doesn't really match. But I mean, you have to really be looking for it in order to tell, because I can't even tell how many pieces. I know that this right here is different. I can tell that that's different, but I can't tell what else is different. I can't tell if more is like this or if more is like... I think this is the odd man out. But then sometimes the hips look a little bit different. I don't know. But as for when it comes to the actual webbing, that dark maroon color on top of that brighter red, and then all the black lining, and then there's a different color blue on the piping for the blue parts. It looks so good. Like everything. Down to the bottom of the feet. Everything on this figure looks so good. The translucent eyes. The discs, when it comes down to it, the disc joints don't even bother me at all. I really don't care. I just think this figure looks so good. And frankly, he's probably my favorite Andrew Garfield Spider-Man figure that I have. I have the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Figma, or the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Mafex. And mine, I got this figure and that one brand new. So I got them both. I got this one around Christmas, January of... between December and January of 2020 and 2021. And I got my Mafex Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I got that around July of last year, I think. So I've had that one for about a year. And that figure's not really that loose on me. I know, obviously, the figure came out in like 2014. So a lot of people have had it for some time. The only thing I've really had a problem with was the fading, which surprisingly, it was like that out of the box. So I don't think that has really anything to do with any type of UV fading. It's just the nature of the paint with the plastic. But for this figure, it looks really good. For some of the accessories that we got going on here, let's get this guy looking pretty sharp over here. For the accessories, we got a Figma stand. Now, one thing I want to point out, when it comes to this guy, if you want to make sure that you don't accidentally buy the knockoff, what I've noticed is if it's hard for you to tell if it's the knockoff, some of the big signs are usually the Mafex. Oh my god. Usually, the Figma knockoff doesn't have the Spider-Man logo on the window, and then the Figma logo won't be on the stand. So those are two things to take account for. The stand you get, it's pretty much like a Mafex stand. It's just got this extra port here that ports into his back. It's really the same size, to be honest with you. I don't know why they give you this. Just a little bit extra height, so, I mean, that's cool. It also plugs into his backpack if you want it to make it look like he's hanging or something, or like he's falling. And the backpack's got its own gravity to it, which is very cool. The paintwork on here is pretty nice. You know, I prefer the Mafex. I usually have this backpack on my Ultimate Peter Parker, and then I have the Mafex's backpack on this guy. But it's pretty cool. It's soft, pliable material, and it sits well on his body. It sits better than the Mafex one does, but I like this one on the Ultimate Spider-Man figure. You also get this little tiny phone. That I think would have worked better if they just kept it attached to the hand that they gave you. I feel like that just would have worked better. This is backwards. Anyway, they give you an actual hand for that, which gets its own spot in the actual packaging, which you can see here. The rest of the hands are just on this tree, hand branch, or whatever you want to call it, that sits at the bottom of the packaging. It's really weird how they package this. But you get 2 wall crawling hands, 2 thwipping hands, and then 2 gripping hands, which you can't really use for anything because his phone has his own hand. And the webs are just whipping webs, they're not swinging webs. I mean, I guess you could use it to hold his straps if you wanted to do that, but I don't know. I never did that. I guess that makes sense. You also have the little Figma logo on there. I imagine if you have the knockoff, the Figma logo won't be on that, so. But here we have 2 whipping webs, which got a medium and a short. Medium and a small, I should say. It's a translucent plastic, and then it's got this frosting at the end, which looks pretty cool. But as for the figure, the only parts of the figure that I've gotten any type of paint rub are in these shoulders right here. You can see where some of this blue and then also silver coloring is on the shoulder. It's just from the paint rubbing off on here. So I'm assuming that this whole figure is made out of blue plastic, and then all the red is painted. I'm sure the blue is painted as well, but I don't know. Maybe there's some difference going on here because of the colors of blue. But I believe the arms are red. I mean, I believe the arms are blue. But come on, man, take a look at that painting. That looks so good. His physique is a little bit weird. To be quite honest with you, though, there's this one image of Andrew Garfield in the suit. I don't believe it's actually a scene from the movie if I think about it, but there's a image that they released. I think was the very first image of this suit that they revealed, and it's him walking down the street in the rain with his mask off, which makes no sense in and of itself, but whatever. When I first seen that picture, I thought it was a girl. I was super young. This is 2011, I'd say. So, I mean, I was like 8. So, I had no idea that the movie was coming out. I had no idea Andrew Garfield was cast or anything like that. I just knew that there wasn't any Spider-Man movies coming out. And when I seen it, the suit was so different and everything was so... Andrew was so slim and all that. For some reason, I just thought it was a girl. And it's funny because just the way this is shaped here, it kind of looks similar to that. I'm not saying I am saying it kind of looks like a girl. Does it bother me? No. But I mean, objectively speaking, his physique looks a little bit off. But I still really like the figure. Anyway, when it comes to articulation, we've got a neck joint and a head joint. The head is kind of like just a single ball, I think. And then a single ball down in the neck. You get a decent amount of range of movement, sorry. Excuse me. Go all the way down. The head likes to pop off easily, which is a bit frustrating. Head goes up pretty good. Get nice pivoting, if it won't come off on you. Neck pivot as well. It doesn't really want to go on the other side. You can get this like shifting going all the way around, which is kind of cool. But then the arms go up. You get that T stance. Your arms go all the way around. You get a shoulder swivel up here. You get a single joint at the elbows, but it is very, very nice. Wrist move side to side, forward and back, all that good stuff. Your combined torso articulation would crunch this far forward and this far back. You have some nice pivoting going on here. And of course, you get rotation in both joints. Your legs move forward this far. Back, decent far. It kicks out a little bit, but you have the thigh swivel that can kind of bring that back in. Your legs move out this far. It's very nice. Thigh swivel, like I said, single joint at the knee, but it comes all the way in. Even goes forward a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I can understand why nobody likes that. That's not cool. But like I said, it doesn't really bother me. I have a lot of fun with the figure. Your ankles move down that far. They move up this far. You get ankle pivot. And of course, you get that nice toe articulation. So yeah, would I recommend this figure? 100%. Just be careful, you know, with the knockoffs. Personally, this is one of the figures that I wanted to get when I got my first job. So this was back in July of 2020. Was like the night before I got my first paycheck. And I was like, you know, if this figure can just hold on to like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I should be able, my payment should have went, or my deposit should have went through, and I should be able to get the figure. But somebody had bought it, and I hadn't seen another one on eBay till about Christmas time. I wasn't checking consistently, but all the other ones, I don't like buying stock images. I like to get an actual image of the figure, so it took me a while before I could find the figure, but I finally did, and I'm very happy that it's in the collection now. One of my favorites. But let's take a look at some size comparisons. So first up, we've got, if you want to do a bit of a Spider-Verse thing going on, here we have your SH Figure Arts Far From Home Spider-Man. They're pretty close in height, not entirely accurate. 5'10" is how tall Andrew Garfield is, and Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland are both 5'8". But just get Tobey in here. Here's the amazing, no, this is the Spider-Man 2002 Toy Biz figure. I have one sealed and then one opened. You see that that's not quite accurate. It makes sense though that Tobey would be the tallest, but in reality he's not. Some Marvel Legends. Here's your Marvel Legends Hugh Jackman Wolverine, and your Marvel Legends Captain America. That doesn't really work. This is and this figure is kind of closer to being like you've seen Tom and Andrew kind of the same height. This figure should be a little bit taller. The only other Andrew Garfield figure I have in my collection is the Amazing Spider-Man 2-1, and he's way too tall. I think he's taller than this figure. So we need somewhere right in the middle. But to get these out of the way. I don't think it doesn't work. It's just, you know, it's not completely accurate. I mean, I don't care if Spider-Man's shorter. He's supposed to be short anyway. Here's a Mezco comparison with Thor. Here is a SH Figure Arts comparison with the Avengers Assemble Captain America and the Avengers Endgame Mark 85 Iron Man. Not too shabby. And then let's throw the Infinity War Hulk in there for some good measure. So you can see how that looks. Alright guys, so that's the review. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And until next time, true believers. Before you guys go, I wanted to wish you a happy National Spider-Man Day. Until next time, true believers.